Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be setting up my vision board here in the Ink Bucket planner. And for that, I went ahead and printed off some of the pictures, and then you're also going to be needing some scissors and then a glue tape to put them down. So let's get started. I have all of these pictures here, and what I'm going to do now is lay them down here just to determine where each of these pictures would go to make it look pretty, as well as I want it to be in a certain order. So I'm going to do that. The very first thing that I want to put is related to health, and I'm going to use this side of the page to do that. And I also have a couple of words that I want to add, and I'm going to sprinkle this throughout, probably layer them down. I don't know, let's see. So for health, I have these mainly, and I might want to add, this is the first one I want to add, and then I'll talk about what each of these picture represents and also why I'm adding them here. So this is how I want to put this flow word over here. So here we go. I think, oh, I like this better actually. Awesome. So pretty good with the side of the page. Let's see over here. And oh, you know what? I also want to add this here because, okay, let's see. So this over here, and I want these two images to be together because they represent like this represents two different things, so I just wanted it to be together here. I'm gonna explain it to you in a bit. Okay, so here we have 4 pictures. I actually don't mind covering this header up because I have the vision board header here and I'm pretty okay with that. And let's see, I think this looks fine here, and yeah, I think I'm pretty good with this. Okay, here we go. I think I can layer these words because I don't know if I can have enough space, so I can probably layer them this way and this one can stand alone here. I'm pretty happy with the alignment here, so let's get started. And by the way, if you're interested to know like what kind of pictures you need to use in your vision board, how to select those pictures, I have a 3-part vision board series here and on my podcast as well. In the first one, I talk about why you need to create a vision board and how exactly it works. And in the second one, I talk about how you can create a vision board that would actually work. I've been creating vision boards since 5 years. 2016 was the first year that I created mine. So I talk about like how exactly you need to create so that it works for you. And then in the third part, I show step-by-step tutorial of how to create a vision board. So yeah, let's start laying down these pictures. This one, my focus for 2021 is practicing yoga as many days as possible. I think I'm doing pretty good. If in case I'm busy, I end up doing like a 10-minute or a 15-minute yoga practice, and in case I'm tired or just feeling a bit low, I end up doing a very light, like not so intensive yoga practice. So I think I'm doing pretty good with that challenge. And the reason why I chose this picture was it represents strength for me, at least. So when you look at these images, right, it's supposed to ignite a certain emotion, and if that's the emotion you want, or if that's the feeling you want to manifest in your life, then choose that particular image. So this image, when I look at it, I see strength, I see focus, I see determination, and those are the feelings or the characteristics I want to embody in myself, especially when it comes to my health and when it comes to yoga. So that's why I chose this particular image. And this particular image is, as you can see, it is food. And for me, I think this is the area where I'm currently a bit it's a bit challenging, and I need to be more mindful about this because I I live a like comparatively quite a busy life right now, and I end up reaching out to more convenient foods or to the foods that can be made really easily or made really quickly. I've become way better than before, but definitely I want to improve a lot, and I want to change up the ratio as well as change up the type of foods that I want to eat. And this particular image, it just like it's so colorful, and I would love my grocery shopping to look like this. It does have these stuff, but I think there's other stuff that comes along with it. So I just wanted to add this here, and this kind of the the things that come into my mind when I look at this picture is clean, mindful, and just like nutritious, you know. So I selected this particular image. Took me a lot of time to find this one, and I really wanted an image to represent flow and living in the moment. And when I looked at this image, that's what it shows. I feel like this girl here, she is just enjoying that particular moment in her life, you know, just not worrying about anything and just dancing off and moving as per the flow. And I really love that, and I want to live my day-to-day life like that. And how I am definitely seeing the shift and how I am changing my mindset. I really love it, and I want to continue on that path. That's why I added it here. And basically, like, if I have to give you an example, one of it would be, you know, planning. Earlier, how I would be is I would plan all the stuff and make sure that I get things done as per whatever I would have planned. But right now, especially in the last 2 3 weeks, I see myself, you know, just going as per the flow and responding to life and making sure I am listening to myself and not just focusing on getting things done. So that's what this picture represents to me, you know. Just go as per the flow, respond, don't worry so much about all the pre-planned stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love planning. It's more of how I'm going to be using planning. I'm going to be using it as an anchor rather than a template that I need to follow. So that's something that I like. And also, that's the reason I chose flow to put here in my vision board, because I just want to flow in the day to day life. And this particular picture completely represents that. So that's something that I really like. And then this one, it is actually, I chose this first for my yoga, but then I came across this and I felt that's more apt. And the reason why I decided to like stay with this particular image and include it here is like the pose. I have been doing this pose quite a bit in my evening yoga routine, and I love it. And it, for me, it shows like, you know, just honoring, respecting myself, and being grateful for all the effort that I'm taking, especially in the health related area, how much I have shifted and how much I've changed my mindset around it. And also, yeah, it's just basically like honoring, connecting with myself, and just being grateful, and, you know, just just respecting myself. And I love this pose. I think it's called the pigeon pose, and it just shows like, this one shows a lot of intensity for me, a lot of strength, a lot of courage. And this image shows like, gratitude and more of those feminine emotions or feelings. And I wanted to have a balance of both, and that's why I decided to keep it here. And then I'm gonna be adding flow here, and I spoke to you guys about like why I chose this word, and I definitely recommend adding words on your vision board because it does need some thought provoking. Basically, whenever you look at your vision board, it's supposed to generate some sort of feeling or emotions in you. And sometimes images are quite powerful. That's why, you add a lot of images here. But sometimes you need. I'm so sorry about that. There was some issue with the lighting. I am back now. So, yeah, the reason why I recommend using words is whenever you look at the vision board, it's supposed to generate some sort of emotions, and these emotions are the ones that you want to manifest in your life. And images do a really good job at it, but sometimes what happens is, because you keep looking at this image, it kind of, you get used to it, and you might end up ignoring. You might not feel like how you felt the first time when you looked at these images. And that's why I love to add words, because it just shows what I want, especially in my day-to-day life. This image represents flow, and I also want to live my day-to-day life like that, and that's why I chose this word here. And when I put like yoga, eating, it represents my day-to-day activities and me working towards my long-term goal. So yeah, that's the reason why I recommend adding a lot of words as well. Well, not lots, but at least a couple of them, just so that it's sufficient to just spark some thought or some kind of emotion in you when you look at them. And yeah, so on this side of the page, what I'm focusing on is, this is completely like health and day-to-day life. And on this side, these two are more like more about my mindset and my mental health, and these are for my business. And this particular image represents two things for me. One is my business. With my mindset coaching, I'm currently fully booked and I'm not taking more clients. And I wanted to create something else that can give you guys a chance to work with me. And Oracle cards have helped me a lot, and that's why I decided that I want to be offering this particular service. And a lot of people message me about this as well, so I thought, okay, let's try this out. And I'm currently working with a few of you guys. Actually, I think a couple of you responded, and I wanted to put this here, one for that. And then another reason is for me to use Oracle cards in my life. And I use it weekly now, and also whenever I need to, like whenever I have a question about a specific situation. But in general, I use it on a weekly basis. At the beginning of every week, I use my Oracle cards for guidance as well as to set intentions. This image represents what I'm working on in my business, and I am planning to launch some sort of a workshop towards the second half of this year, wherein we can all hang out and work on our mindset with oracle cards, with meditation, and sort of establish a foundation for a more intentional life, or target a specific topic. I don't want to disclose too much because we are in the works now, and yeah, stick on to find out what exactly it is and how it's gonna help. So that's one thing that I wanted to add. My word for 2021 is experiment. And I have a podcast episode about this in which I talk about why I chose this word, what it means to me, and how I'm planning to use it. So check that out. But in short, if you want to know, I mainly want to experiment a lot in my business. So try out different things. And now that the mindset coaching is going on the side, I'm not really actively doing stuff. I've already started working with the clients, and there are some other clients in the pipeline that I'm going to be working with in the second half of the year. So now that's kind of set up. Last year, I worked on setting up that. I wanted to focus on experimenting with other different things, try out different sort of workshops and different, if I want to launch any product. As you guys know, I am working on launching stickers that's already started. So just trying to experiment with different things and see how I feel about it, and then decide whether I want to continue or not, rather than, occupying myself in the pre-planning stage for more time than it's essential. So I just wanted to add this word here to remind me of that, and that's why I chose it closer to the business thing over here. This particular picture for me represents connection with myself, more of like what's going on here, and also breath work. Just being mindful about my breath. I have started to learn a little bit about breath work and utilizing it in my life, and I see a remarkable difference, like how much of a difference it makes when you're conscious about your breath. And I just feel like I'm connecting with myself, and this image just, it's so nice. I loved it. I feel like, basically, when I look at this image, I feel like she is like disconnected from the outside world, just focusing on herself, just focusing on having a good relationship with herself, with connecting, to her higher self. So that's what I liked about this particular image, and I wanted to add it here. I've actually used this image in the past in another vision board of mine. At that time, it represented something completely different for me, and it's so fascinating how some of the images, when you see at one point in time, it represents something else, and when you look at it a couple of years later, it just sparks different sort of emotions. So I found that really fascinating. And then I also wanted to add the word trust, because when you are experimenting with certain things in your life, and when you want to live your day-to-day life in the flow, in the moment, not when you want to, I think if you want to, I feel a lot of trust is essential. So when you're experimenting on things, so trusting yourself and trusting the process, that things are going to work out. And when you're living as per the flow, like trusting in your life, in yourself, to make intentional decisions during the day and not pre-planning a lot of things. So I felt like, actually, this was the first word I included when I was preparing the vision board. This was the first word that I added, and then I went ahead and added both of these words. So trust is something that I want to manifest more of in my life. And most of these things, I think it's kind of associated with how I'm living my day-to-day life. And that's something that was quite surprising as well. It's not so much of a long-term things, and I know why that is, because last year I spent a lot of time and really worked on clarifying the long-term vision, and that's what I do coach in my mindset coaching, about gaining clarity about the bigger picture in your life. And I'm pretty okay with that. I have a great clarity and I'm aware of what I need. It's more of establishing an intentional life on a day-to-day basis. So that's what I am focusing on in this particular year. This image, actually, I found this when I was looking for this one, like some sort of a flow, living in the moment, and all of that. And I had almost gone ahead with this, and then I went to search something else and I found this particular image. But I decided to keep this here because I really love the image. Another thing that came into my mind when I looked at this picture is play, just having a little bit of fun and introducing some sort of play in your life. And I actually did an oracle reading on my birthday for the entire year. That is something that I loved doing. I spent quite a bit of time and I went really deep in it. And one of the messages that came in there was the thing that I have to be focusing on in the upcoming year was including some sort of play and making things a bit light-hearted and not being so serious all the time. And in general, I am a bit like, I am quite serious and I am quite like focused and goal oriented and things like that. And that is good. That's what is helping me to achieve a lot of things. But I shouldn't be forgetting to enjoy life and inducing some sort of play in my day-to-day life. And that's why I decided to keep this on here. I liked the way this turned out, although I feel like I need to add something is missing here, or perhaps here. Oh, you know what? Let me just grab my homebody sticker book so that I can add some stickers. Let's see. I think this is gonna clash with this one. I love doing that. Oh, you know what? I also wanted to write a couple of things. So I don't wanna. Oh, these leaves are my favorite. Let's add them. Before that, let's actually write some things, and I wanted to just write what each of these images represent, just to remind myself. And here I'm gonna write as strength. So I'm using the Muji 0.38 pen so that the tip is small and it does not like highlight. I just want it to be subtle. So I have strength here, and then I'm gonna write here as determination. So these are the two characteristics, or like emotions or feelings, whatever you want to call it, that I want to embody in my yoga routine. So that's there. And also it is quite simple, or it's going to be easier because I already have these characteristics in other areas of my life. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I just need to focus on, rather than thinking about it as, oh, this is something new that I want to manifest in my life, rather than thinking like that, I'm going to make it a lot easier for me, because just to remind myself that, hey, look, I have these two qualities in my career or in my business, and let's just bring it from there in my yoga routine. So yeah, that's that. And then here for this, I'm gonna write as, what should we write? Should we write clean or nutritious or healthy? Oh, you know what? I think I'll write it as life. Just life, because this is what is gonna fuel your body. So I think that's good there. We have the word flow here. What else can we add? Flow in the moment, would that be a good one? Or word, I want to add like play here, so I don't want to do that here. Let's add in the moment. I think that's good. I love using the 0.38 pen for these kind of things. I feel actually this was the main pen that I used to use last year and a few years back, but then I started liking 0. 0.5 and now I'm using 0.75. So not 0.75, 0.7. So yeah. Okay, we have this here, and for this I'm gonna put it over here on the side, and let's write it as gratitude. So just gratitude for life, gratitude for myself, and all of that. So here we go, we are good with this side. And then over here, for this I want to add actually two things. One is connect with, I'm just gonna add connect, but basically what I mean by this is connecting with the higher purpose, connecting with my higher self, connecting with my subconscious. I think that's more apt for what I want. And I also want to write here as breath work. So here we go. And for this one, I want to write as play. Okay. And here I want to write, what do I write? I'm just going to write it as community. So having a community of like-minded people wherein we can all come together and work on creating a more intentional life for ourselves. So that's why I added it there. And then this one, what should I write? I don't want to write oracle cards. Let's write it as intentional, because that's what these cards help me to do. Set intentions, be more intentional about my day-to-day life. So we are good there. Let's add some of these stickers to just add a little bit of decor and some character into the spread. I love them. I love how simple these are, and like it does not take away from what's going on here. If you see how much I've used on this page, I love looking at this page. I love it. I love how colorful it is, and oh my god, I just love it. And I'm liking this as well. And also with regards to, setting up your planner at the beginning of the year, you don't need to do all of these things at once in the beginning of the year, because the reason why I like to spread it out throughout the year, and I allow myself, this is another like thing or activity that represents flow, like not doing everything at once and just living your life and seeing what you need at that point in time, and then creating your planner or adding spreads that you need rather than you think you need at the beginning of the year. It's a little bit tricky. It works in both positive and negative ways, the whole new year energy. Sometimes you can drift away from what you actually need, because there's a lot of marketing that goes on in that time of the year, and what happens is you see other people doing a couple of things and then you'll be like, oh, even I want to do that, and all of that. So just holding on, waiting, and then not being in a hurry to set these up. Actually had worked a little bit on the vision board at the beginning of the year, but I purposely did not want to put it here in my planner, because during my birthday I end up like reevaluating a lot of things. It's just automatic, some of the thoughts that come. So that's why I hold on till like March to uh, make a long term, like yearly commitment, because it changes then. So that's what I would recommend you as well. Don't be in a hurry to set up all of these things and have your vision board ready by January. It's just a calendar date. It's just a calendar date. So don't worry about that. And I am sure I would have not added this image or these two images at all in the beginning of the year, because I didn't have them. I had yoga, I did have the breath work, but these images, so that's why I like holding on until my birthday at least, or sometimes even a little bit later. Last year I think I did it somewhere in May. Yeah, I guess I did it in May. So we have that there, and then this one over here. I think I'm pretty happy with the balance of the words, the images, as well as the stickers. I do feel something is missing here. I will look at it if I want to add some sort of an image, or if I want to pull in some other sticker that goes along with the theme. Although I'm pretty happy with whatever is there here. So yeah guys, this was the vision board setup in my ink bucket planner. Let me know if you have already created your vision board and how did you create it. Also, if you have not, I'm gonna link that 3-part vision board series that's gonna help you create one. Yeah guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.